Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Steve, and this is my very first YouTube video I've ever done. Right in and see how this thing turns out. A little bit about myself is I'm an entrepreneur. I have been self-employed my whole life. I've had multiple businesses in different industries. I have a technical background. Trading background, I started about 4 years ago and started out with Bitcoin and figured out really quick that the crypto market is something I did not want to be playing in with. I lost some money doing that. And I stumbled over into the prop firms, and I've been trading with the prop firms for the past 4 years. And today, I want to walk you through a complete step-by-step guide on how I set up my 5-minute chart with the indicators and what they mean and how I would take trades on a 5-minute chart. I do look at the 1-minute chart for the reversals because if you're trading NQ on an E-mini and the NQ can swipe 20, 30, 50 points sometimes in a 1 minute. And if you're trading a $50,000 combine, it'll wipe you out on an E-mini if you're not careful. So I'm always constantly watching the 1 minute for sometimes my entries, but most of the time it's just for the reversals or the whipsaws that I'm looking at. If you're a brand new trader or a seasoned trader or intermediate trader, if there's anything that I can help with or you can take from what I'm showing you on these YouTube videos, it's going to be a win-win. Let's just get started and jump into the video and get into the charts and see where we can go with it. As you can see right here, I have a 5-minute chart open. Automatically you see these different colors. Were red and green, and I changed those because I don't like the red and green colors. It's more suitable for my eyes to look at. I've tried the red and green. I've tried the yellow and green and the blue, and I've tried multiple colors, but I found that the blue and white works good for me. I've already changed the colors on this, but to change the colors, if you're new to TradingView, all you have to do is right-click and go to Settings, and you can change the colors right here. Do everything you want here, dude. There's other things you can do over here too, but today we're not going to go over that. We're just basically I'm showing you the color aspect of it. You can change those. You can save it as a template. You can have multiple templates. Say you get tired of these colors one day, you can change these colors and save it as another template, and you can switch it back and forth. So you can play around with it and get familiar with it. TradingView has a free plan. You get 2 indicators to add to your chart. That's what we're going to start off with today, with just 2 indicators. And how I do my charts is brand new chart, remember, red and green. I've already changed these, but you have the volume indicator automatically added on when you open up a brand new chart. I automatically just go over here and turn it off. Look at volume. What I do add is the indicators. Got EMA. The EMA, and this is right here. I add 2 of them. And I change the length to 14. And I change the color. We're going to leave that blue for the 14. And the 50 EMA, I change. And I add yellow. All right. So basically how this works is this. You got the 14 EMA. 50 EMA pretty much shows a clear insight on the direction for the day on a 5-minute chart. If price jumps and gets under the 50, then you're going to be looking for sales. If it stays above the 50 and rides it, like you see a couple candles here that do, all they're doing is testing. But it's a pretty big jump from 460 all the way down here to 460 points for that wick. But you can see right here, it comes right back up and it just keeps going. So the 50 is a good standard to above or below when you're looking for longs or shorts. And how I do this is I will look at the first 5-minute candle. And the first 5-minute candle, I look at the 5-minute ORB or the 15-minute ORB. And as you can see right here, I'll come over here and I'll right click on, go over here over here. I'll add a rectangle. Do the rectangle on the 5-minute ORB, and that's the first 5-minute candle. So it's 8:35. You wait for that to settle. And then you find out the direction of where the market's going to go, or you think it's going to go. And as you can clearly see, the first 5-minute candle was bearish. We're underneath the 14 EMA. So this is a sell side for me. Yes, the 50 EMA is right there, but I'm not looking to trade off the 50. I'm looking at the 14 and the 5-minute ORB. And if I see a break of the 5-minute ORB and it goes down, it's clearly a short for me. And I normally would take the short right here and ride it down to this area, or I'm looking at prices around 400, 3,400. I'm looking for a bounce right there, which it clearly did. And it didn't do it on this candle, or it did on the fourth candle pretty much, 445 or 845. Excuse me. And then it went up. So basically, I would have got my trade in and I would have been done for the day. But say, for instance, that this ranges and it just goes up and down and it just does not break. Well, you don't have a trade. Wait for it to break the 5-minute ORB if you're a 5-minute ORB trader. If you're a 15-minute ORB trader, you wait for the very first 15-minute candle to settle. Then you take the trade off that. And then it's the same principle. Either you wait for the break, you go short, or you wait for a long break and the confirmation of it's still pushing up and you go long. The 5-minute or the 15-minute ORB, which I will be adding a PDF to this video that goes in more depth on how to trade the 5-minute and the 15-minute ORB breakouts and the definitions of the 14 and 15 EMA as well. But you can clearly see right here that, and this is hindsight, just showing y'all how I trade and how I set up my charts. So we could take this off because we already know that we've already made a short, made some money, and we waited. We're going to wait. And as soon as price, the way I do it, as soon as price comes back above the 14 EMA, we got this massive wick right here. So that automatically tells me that bulls took over and the next candle tried to push down for the sellers. The seller says, nope, we're not doing it. And bulls took back and went up. So this next candle right here, I would have went long. Okay, rode it up and got out. Been done. One little candle. That's it. And then you can see how it whipsawed. It sort of whipsawing because this is called diddle in the middle. You don't want to mess with it if you're especially trading the 5-minute ORB or the 15-minute. If there's really not an excessive break of those two, you don't really want to mess in the middle because it gets really choppy. That's a very risky trade to take. That's kind of how I trade. I'm working on holding my trades and being more patient and waiting for more breakouts, but sometimes I'm on a crunch where I need to put some trades in and then go about my day. Made some money. You get out, you leave it alone. You don't mess with it. And it keeps going up, but it's just right here. So one would say, you know what? It just broke the 5 EMA. I'm going to go long. And you go long up here and that next candle just takes you right out. Because right here is kind of an indecisive candle. And you got the buyers and the sellers pushing back and forth and it just kind of ends in the middle, 50-50. So right there, you'd kind of wait for that next candle to form and see which direction it's going to go. And if you went long, you'd have got tore up. So you have to be patient and you have to wait. And then you come over here, you can see the candle patterns and you can see where the candle broke the 14 EMA. It broke it, went all the way down to here, but that next candle opened up and it tried to push down. The buyers said no, and the sellers said, we're going to stop right here. And then you have doji candle, indecisive candle, pretty much how I look at it. And you got this next candle right here. You got the wick. There's the wick right there. Buyers are pushing up again. And then you get this other candle. Buyers said, yeah, we're on board. We're going to push up. So right here, I would have got in probably right here at the top. I would have put my stop loss right up underneath this 14 EMA, which is probably right in here around the 35.80s area. I'd have put my stop loss there. And you would have got in up here because it broke this top wick. Got in and held it, and you guys, you made a lot of good money right there. So that's a lot of points you could have made. So that's how I trade the 14 and the 15 EMA in the mornings on the New York session. In future videos, I will go over how to trade the Asia session as well, because I do trade that sometime, and it's a lot slower, and you have to have a lot more patience because the market doesn't move as fast as the New York does. I am working on that as well, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment at the bottom and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you.